Now, legal disclaimer, first and foremost, right? Myself and anyone coming on this call, none of us is a financial advisor. So no part of this call should constitute as any financial advice. Daisy is not available in certain countries like US and other countries. Please reach out onto the website to make sure that your country of residence is allowed to participate in this crowdfunding project. Also, it's important to share that previous results do not guarantee your future results. Do go ahead and read through this disclaimer. Even take a screenshot for you to read later. And as you go ahead and keep sharing, I'm just having a look to make sure, use the share button at the bottom, because the first part of this call is very important to everyone who's ever purchased a contribution tier in Daisy. And then we're going to hand it over to our guest who should be arriving any minute onto this call. I'm just keeping an eye, and we will hand it over. In fact, okay, I can see that he is here in the waiting room. So let me share this part with you, and then we will get the Q&A section started. As Daisy is round the corner from launching, you all are aware that we have transitioned from using TRX to USDT. Now, there's many people, unlike you, you're here on this call because you're committed, you're ready to go. There's some people who's contributed to certain tiers. They want to have a look and see how things goes before they decide to go all in. They're sitting on the fence. But here's the challenge. They're going to be sitting, watching their TronLink wallet, waiting to earn certain rewards, maybe from spillover, from the matrix rewards. But here's the thing, it's never going to come unless every single person who has ever contributed to a tier will need to log into the platform of Daisy via their TronLink app or whichever other app they use, and they will need to click a button. There will be a pop-up, and they'll need to accept that they are aware and they agree to now all transaction with Daisy, whether receiving rewards or purchasing a new tier, will be done via USDT. Until they haven't done that, any rewards that they are entitled to would be held within the smart contract and released only when they've accepted and agreed and pressed that button. So that makes it imperative that you ensure it is your responsibility that every person that you ever introduced into Daisy, that is part of the Daisy community in your organization, it is your responsibility to get this message across to them, make sure they go ahead and get ready to do that on the launch day. So now that we've done that and got the legal disclaimer out, let me just see. Yes, we've got our guest here. So I'm going to introduce him, and then we will hear a few words from this gentleman, this amazing gentleman, and then we have a few questions. Many of you have been emailing, messaging me, Facebook, and sharing with your leaders the questions. And I kind of summarized it into just 4 main questions, and we will go and take a few other smaller questions as we go along, as many people have messaged. Now, this gentleman is someone I haven't known for a long time, but I've known of him for a long time. I still remember browsing through Business for Home website and coming across an article of one of his team members who really talked really very well about this gentleman, edified this gentleman. And I was like, wow. But I never had the chance to speak to this person or meet this person until very recently. And here's what I can share with you. I am really impressed. Not only he understands and knows the network marketing industry, but he has a great understanding of the trading aspect itself. He is someone in this short space of time that I've got to know him has always been ready and available to help every single person. Every time I've reached out for help, right now he's in Dubai. It's gone past 11 p.m., but he's here ready to serve with us on this call. He's been doing meetings for us and for so many other leaders. In fact, I don't know how they compress their timeframes to be able to accommodate everyone and help everyone. You know, every time I speak to him, even when, people around are like excited or panicking and it's all sorts of emotions, I've always seen this gentleman always keep his cool, always work on a solution, and always come up with a solution. And I'm very grateful and thankful to have come across this incredible project, because he's one of the co-creators with two other people. And I'm really thankful for all the support that we get from him. So let's hear a few words from none other but one of the co-creators of the Daisy community project, Daisy AI project, I should say, Mr. Eduard Khemchen. Edward, if you're here, over to you to say a few words, and then we will move to the questions.
Hey guys, have a nice day here. You hear me okay?
Yes, loud and clear.
Good. Well, thank you for introduction. I can say same thing about you. First time, Ilya, one of my partners as well, he sent me the video and he asked me, "Do you know this guy?" And I started watching the presentation, somebody presenting a Daisy, and I go like, "Wow, this guy is good." And guess who was that? That was you. So, good job. We really appreciate what you do. You've been an amazing leader, and I want to thank every leader that been sticking for the last 2 months and continuing building it. It's just been amazing. Thank you, guys.
Super. Wonderful. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here, Edward. And I think as we get really, really close to the launch, to the official grand launch of Daisy, there's a lot of excitement in the field. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of, people are overwhelmed. Some can't wait. Some are really grateful that they get an extra day or an extra 2 days because they're really aiming for pace setter. But before we get to the trading aspect, which a lot of people had questions about, as well as let's say the launch date, or let's call it the migration process, right? Let's hear a little bit about you and how, I believe if I've got it right, well, please correct me if I'm wrong, it was you who, among the co-creators, co-founders, who came across Endotech first. Tell us a little bit about that and how it led to Daisy, and really how the experience so far has been for you. It's always great. I mean, we always get to know about us and in the field, what we think, what we feel. It will be really good to get to know from your side of the story.
All right. Yes. So, I was actually looking for the last few years, I was looking for the company, something like Endotech. I didn't know it's going to be in the crypto, but I was looking in the trading area. I was looking in the Forex and crypto on both sides, right? And the reason I was looking, I had a group in a network that I was building and that was not, the company didn't have really something great to offer them. So I went for a search and I got across of Endotech. That was back in midsummer 2018. And I was telling this story to you guys when I got in a call with Adam Rubin, who is a VP of sales, and when he was sharing his on a screen, he was sharing all the history trading. I was really impressed. I looked at the trades. It was really good results. Hey, is there too much background noise? No? No background?
It looks good, yeah.
All right, because I'm in the lobby, because it's past 11, my family is already back to hotel. So anyway, so when I look at the trading results, I knew it right away, this is real. I've seen a lot of, I've been in trading for a very, very long time. I started trading I started learning trading in 1996, stocks, right? So then I went into Forex 1999. So I had enough experience. I had big network in MLM and in trading area, right? So I decided to bring and find a company. So when I looked at Endotech, the results were amazing. And I told Adam Rubin, I said, listen, 50%, even if you can do 50% what we see right now, we can bring billions into your platform. And that's how everything started. I connect my own account, start trading on a private through API key. And 6 months into it, after that, I went to Israel and really start building. When I was there, I was really impressed with everything, right? But when you go in office, it wasn't impressing. It was a small office. It was a small conference room. There was only 3 rooms and then a conference room and a small kitchen, right? And Dr. Anna came in and we started talking and more in conversation. That's where I got impressed. Nothing from a flashy office. I didn't get impressed from that. But I was even more excited that there's nothing flashy because I knew there's something big in here. Because if somebody already saw this, we would not have a chance because they would be already have somebody, right? So at that moment, there were so many different thoughts what we can do, but I was looking at that moment just to bring a service for my network. And that's how everything started.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Edward. It's great to get that. And in terms of, obviously, we had a beta launch earlier this year, and we've been preparing and getting ready for an incredible grand launch. And I'm sure those kind of timeframes give you as a co-creator of this project a little bit of time to sit back and think, what could you have done different? What's the plan for the future? So it would be really great to know how this little, let's say, break has solidified what the intentions are, what the vision is for Daisy from your perspective, and what you guys want to achieve out of this project, what you want to provide to the people from this project.
All right. Yeah. So, well, first I want to address how would we do different, right? I think this that we pre-launched, right, in January, and we got this break in the pause. I think I would say someone was watching over us. It happened for a very, very good reason, for a lot of different reasons. Let's talk about first from the technical side, from a smart contract, because in the future we have a lot of faces, and we all in network marketing experience building one team, and then something happens and you have to start over, and then you have to start over, right? And then we also see in a smart contract industry that it's a new industry starting. They built and then they start a new one and everybody jump around and starting cross recruiting, right? So that made this time made us to work with a high several different smart contract developers, and we were able to develop so we could work pretty much the infinity, not just for a year, for 2 or a million distributors or 10 million distributors. So we can continue with the same genealogy. We could start phase 2 and phase 3 because we have a lot of different phases. We have a big vision, right? So that helped us on a smart contract to enough time to bring enough experts to make this happen, right? And we're this close to announce the launch, right? Now, from the other side, it also prepared us for a real, from the legal team, from the bringing people who run $1 billion companies, because Daisy, with no doubt, is going to become $1 billion company in just matter of months, not years, a month, few months. And you guys know this is going to be really fast. This is not just us. You all know this. The big leaders, everybody who's here, they see it. They know the transparency. They know everything, what exactly we do. It's everything clear. There's no secrets. So that 2 months, but 2.5 months paused, it's actually a blessing for everyone. It's just, the people who older, they understand, so they can think back in their life, something happened in your life. At that moment, you were thinking, oh, shoot, what happened? Like, how did it happen? But if you reacted correctly and later you look back, it actually happened for a good reason. It actually turned out to be something a lot greater and bigger than you would expect it with that other. So this is what happened to us, to all of us. So I'm actually very thankful and happy that this happened. It's of course, if that did not happen, if we did not told anyone and worked through and prepared a year, and then a year later would come up, we would not have the same thing. But I think we did everything correct, especially right now. And like I said, somebody was watching over us.
Thank you for that, Edward. Now on to maybe more pressing questions that a lot of people are waiting for, because this is a very, very common question that we've been getting in the field. And as soon as we announced this call, a lot of people were messaging, is with regard to the trading. And I think there's two main questions that pertains to the trading aspect. The first is, you see, as you know very well, this whole industry is very accustomed to, you know, your 10% per month fixed percentage, your 0.5% per day or 1% per day. So when Endotech started the trading for Daisy, and we saw it go down to -9%, even -12% at some point initially, and certain people were like, you know, it's not easy to just transition from years of being used to something which is like, you know, every day there's something that's dropping plus 0.5% to something like that. So there's the psychology of it there. But then Endotech was able to turn that around very comfortably, I would say, to, you know, to 10%, then to 20%, and even over that. And then in the last few days, there's also been a little bit of a dip where it's gone back down to around 10% or just under. So I think people want to know a little bit more insight on that. Why is that and how is that? And the second part of the question when it comes to the trading is, people have said, and I've noticed this, and I sent you a message, in fact, on that, is it looks like when Bitcoin price is shooting up, the profits are going up. And when Bitcoin price is going down, or crypto price in general, it seems like the profits of Endotech is going down. And it begs the question from a lot of people, what are the trading strategies that are currently being used? And would it have been wise when it was at 20-25%, maybe with the market being a bit in consolidation, to sort of have taken a little pause? These are the, like, overall in trading, the questions that we're getting, and a lot of people want some answers to these to get a better understanding. And you, as you have a good background in trading, I thought it would be great to have you answer those questions. So over to you, Edward.
All right. So those are good questions. And, you know, if we're going to start looking at the companies that promote 1% a day or 0.5% a day or 10% solid a month, it doesn't matter how exciting it sounds. If you can show me a company that lasts long enough without something went wrong, and then they blame on a lot of different, they always have excuse. But then if you go back and think about this, how transparent they were, there was always some kind of secrecy, something they didn't want to show you because they would tell you, we're going to expose our secret and then you can copy us or something, right? So in reality, in real trading, and as I heard from you, you trade too. In reality, any trader can say, there's no way you can give something solid every day or every month. In trading, you cannot promote. But here's what I can tell you about Endotech, and here's what I can tell you about you take a professional trader, or you take an AI, and the difference we can talk. I love this subject. I can talk for hours and hours and hours. So I'm thinking in my head, how can I put this in a short and easy to explain it to you guys? But you can't really, if you look 1% a day, right? That's a 365% a year without compound, because that's how the companies promote, right? And then in real market, we can see what we see right now in Endotech. We see ups, we see downs, we see ups, we see downs. Depends when you come in. Sometimes a person after you might come in and he might be way ahead of you, right? After you. So it's all depends when you come in, right? But in a long term, when you're going to look into it with compounding effect, a year later, 2 years later, you'll be so much more ahead than 1% a day, right? And through all this time, it was nerve-breaking, not exciting, then super exciting. There's 60% a month, then 40% down or 30% down, but then you'll see everything. That's a real trading. That's a reality. And what's going on right now? Right now, it's a choppy market. It's very. I mean, you guys see, if we would start, if Daisy would start back in November, right, and that's when the bull market really start taking off strong, right? If we would start even October or November launched, we would be so much more ahead. But we started in January, just a little bit the trading wise, right? So we caught like the end of this bull market, but that's not really end. We might not even, maybe it's a beginning of bull market. And it doesn't matter in a trading. It doesn't matter, is it a beginning of bull market or end of bull market, because when there's going to be a reverse and when it's going to go a solid trend down, and when we predict that and we're going to hit it, we're going to start multiplying. We're going to start making profits. Right now, what's going on, every time a trend comes in, AI executes the trade. It just goes a little bit, and then we make some profits, and then it starts turning around. And because we X2, we see the negative, 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 and then it kicks out at low and then turns around again. It's a choppy market, and you cannot predict. It could go for another month like this, right? But after a while, and I've been not just in the trading long enough, I've been with Endutech trading since 2018. So when here's the story, here's the interesting story. When I started, when I connect my account through API key, first 2 weeks I had 0 trades. Then I had 4 or 5 negative trades. My account went down, right? But a year later, my account was over 300% up. And I was making 1% a day, not half percent a day. I was negative, I was positive, negative, positive. It's a roller coaster. But it's long term, and this is real trading. So what I'm happy about our model, the crowdfunding, it makes people, it doesn't give people a chance to, right now in a crowdfunding, to withdraw their money, right? It doesn't give you this right because it's a crowdfunding. And you're gonna go through a year or 6 months, and you'll see it, and then you will not want to withdraw. Then you're gonna think, like, when there's time will come, you're gonna say, no, why would I do it? I want my money work for me because this is real. You'll see a third-party audit. You'll see the transparency of all the tradings. You might see from your upline or personally will have VIP status, and you'll have your own, account privately. You'll be able to see their reality. So that part, in our industry, when I say our industry, MLM with finances, so far I haven't seen any company.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Edward. And I 100% agree. Having been in the industry for a few years and being a lot into trading, I don't think off the top of my head that I know of any company right now who in the financial services who's offered trading and profits on trading who exists from over 3 years ago. They all seems to have a shelf life, as we know, and normally they haven't provided transparency and audits, as you mentioned. And since you mentioned that, would you care to elaborate a little bit more so that people know and understand what is really getting audited and when that process will start, so people have the comfort factor of knowing that everything is being audited and by a legit top-end firm, as well as when we talk about transparency of trades, we understand someone who has access to VIP, they'll be able to share with their friends, their network. But for the rest of the people, what does transparency of the trading really means at the moment for them?
Well, we'll be doing at least monthly calls with Dr. Anna Becker, where she will share with Binance account. And she's not going to be sharing Binance account because she wants to show you a trading and prove you that we are truly trading. She will be showing the process of development of AI, the Daisy AI, what she's developing, what we're funding, right? And it's necessarily you must show those results because you want to see what is going on and how the development process is going on. And then when we go back, we will see the difference, what happened a year ago with this AI and what happened a year later, right? This is going to be a history because those calls are recorded. This is going to be good for fintech industry, not just for us as a Daisy, because what they building right now, when they're going to complete this Daisy AI, I believe the biggest financial firms, they will come to us. Not that I know they don't have what we're building. They don't have it, right? I don't want to sound too I don't even know what kind of words, too cocky, right? Like, and say it's not that. I'm a humble person, but I know what Dr. Anna is building, and you guys read the white paper, those who wrote, and I think it's really reality for people. For people who doesn't see it yet, they will see it. So that part that you cannot withdraw, it's a good thing, because later when we're going to go in a phase two and it's going to be hedge fund, right, and people will be able to withdraw, at that moment people will already experience enough to know that this system is 100% real and transparent. Now about the audit, who is doing it, it's a fourth largest financial company in the world. They already started audit right now. They're doing it. It's in a process. I think by end of this month, it might be completed. The first, I have to check with Dr. Anna because I'm not sure if it's going to be, I think it should be done. So the first one is always takes a little bit longer because it's a little bit different for them, what we do, right? And once you see, then you'll know exactly who they are and you guys are going to be very impressed because all of you who's in finance, who's not even in finances, they know this company. This company is known, right? So that in the process, I think I answered. Maybe I didn't answer something.
No, you answered most of it. I think the one other part is people tend to think or feel at the moment that, hey, when Bitcoin price is going up, okay, the profits are going up. But they tend to feel that when Bitcoin's price is going down and the profits are going down, the percentage that it goes down by compared to going up doesn't seem to be proportionate. And what I mean by that is, hey, whether you're talking pips, whether you're talking price, Bitcoin price goes up by $1,000 per Bitcoin, for example.
That's actually very easy to explain. That's very easy to explain. And I think maybe we'll do with Dr. Anna also call one where she can show you how, at what moment trades get executed. So I'm going to show a little bit visual, hopefully understandable, right? So when the trend happens and it starts growing, right? We might not be in a trade yet. It's keep growing. And when it breaks this new, and it shows all the technical analysis and it shows everything that it's actually beginning a bull market, even though it already grew maybe 2, 3, 4, 5%, then that we go into trade. And as soon as we go into trade, it could still go a little bit and then turn around. It was a false trade, turn around and goes down, 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 a lot lower. And as soon as touches support and breaks that support, exits and then turns around again. And this is a choppy market. This is what's going on right now. So that's why you see in end-to-tech strategies, what you're going to see, let's say there's a growth of 100%, and we'll take it from 50% to 80% of this, right? But when there's going to be a going down, we could do same thing, 50 to 80%, either way, right? And plus leverage. So over time, you will see the market is overperformed over time, but you cannot put this not even a year. It possibly we can overperform sometimes in 1 year, but in the long term, it's way overperform the market. It's just proven history record. But again, you cannot guarantee the future results. It's just always different. This is a high risk strategist, high reward strategist. I feel very confident. And I think for Dr. Anna, what is really a little bit like you could see maybe that she worries or something. She's not worries about her strategy. She worries about the people not understanding and thinking like, oh, there's this, but in a long term, she just wants people to understand long term, because this is something in our industry, a lot of people come in with a very little bit experience of trading. And if they had experience in trading, they had actually false experience trading with the different companies who promised them 10% or 1%, right? And there was really no trading behind it. Maybe there was a 10% of trading and 90% it was just based on the new people coming in and, you know, rolling. So it was wrong to do. And that's what companies still do it. A lot of companies still do it, right? But this is not the case. We're 100% showing exactly what we do, and everything's transparency. So I hope that answers. When we go in a trend, we don't go from the zero. We don't take all 100% of the trend. We take 80 to 50%. But when it turns around, it goes to negative, negative. Sometimes you'll see it goes negative and then turns around and goes positive. We never exit the trade, but sometimes it breaks support, and that's where we exit the trade, when it breaks the support.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Edward. I think the biggest take from the trading aspect that people need to understand is, first of all, institutional trading and retail trading is very different. And I think to break down a little bit more what you've just said, it's not always a market execution order that's being placed. For example, you know, they want to have multiple confirmations and they're waiting for the price to do something and reach a certain level to decide whether the AI believe is uptrend or downtrend. So the trade is not always taken at the lowest or at the peak, but somewhere in between there. And it's also great to know that the fourth largest financial company in the audit sector will be auditing Daisy AI fund, as well as, I'm just looking at my notes and making sure that, the transparency of the trades. I love the fact that we will have regular calls with Dr. Anna, being able to share the development of Daisy AI and also show some of the trading results. Moving on to probably the last main part of what a lot of people are waiting for, everyone is waiting for. I mean, what can you tell us about how the process of the data migration is going on at the moment? Is that going smooth? Is there any delay? How are we looking at in terms of the launch date or rough date? Because people can't wait, and I think that's a great thing. It's a great thing to have. Like, people cannot wait. Some have been very, very patient. There's a lot of new people waiting to get started, and they just want to know. I think it's for two main reasons. A lot of the people just can't wait, and a lot of the people want to plan because, you know, they're targeting their pace setter goal, they're targeting their pace setter leadership. They just want to know really where they stand. How much do they have? 2 days left? Do they have 24 hours left? Do they have 72 hours left? So what could you tell us about the current data migration and any challenge we may or may not have encountered, and where we look at in terms of launching or at least starting our countdown?
All right. So, and that's the most, right now, it's the most exciting time because we're this much close. It's going very, very smooth at the moment. And we had some situations where we sold. It's going really smooth. And we decide, three was Jeremy, Roma, Ilya Manyan, and I, after talking with developers, we decide to look over and test over this migration, make sure all the data is correct, and make sure it's 100%. And this is, it takes a little bit longer. It takes another maybe 24 to 48 hours. But what we're gonna do, we're pretty much, I can't say exact, right? But there's no way we will tell you like, okay, we're ready to launch. You'll know when it's 24 hours. We'll give you 48 to 24 hours. We'll put time clock, right? And we very close. Possibly tomorrow we will announce something. We were thinking maybe today, but because we had to check, we decide to. We want to be 100% sure, because this is a lot of pressure. You want those 53,000 members first 6 hours being smoothly upgrading their packages, figuring out the back offices, because you will have all 6 hours to do that. And we will post on Telegram probably later tonight, those updates. So it would be better probably to post those on Telegram, so that way you guys can read. But it's going smooth. We're excited. We're only a few days away.
So just to clarify and confirm, because I think this is the most pertinent question right now, is so we can positively expect an update with possibly of the countdown in the next, let's say, 24 to 36 hours, taking us into tomorrow or Tuesday kind of midday time. Is that the kind of time frame we're expecting for the announcement to come?
I think the update we're gonna give in about hour or two, maybe even after I hang up right away, because Jeremy already prepared the announcement. We already talked about it. So he's constantly, I'm looking on the phone constantly, and he's nonstop. I see Jeremy and development team and everything is going up. I mean, Jeremy has been probably not sleeping at all. We're constantly on a calls. We're constantly with the team development. It's going amazingly. I just wanna this is not, you didn't ask this or anything, but I just wanna add this, the partners, Jeremy Roma and Ilya Manin. It's been a blessing for Daisy, for the whole project, all of you leaders and everything, but I've seen a lot of business partnerships. I own traditional businesses, I own technology companies, and what we have, I worked with Jeremy before, and I loved to work with him. I worked with Ilya, and I love those two guys. It's like a team dream, like it's a dream to work together, right? So, and everything came somehow, everything correctly, and we're ready to announce very soon. I think in next hour you'll see the Telegram, some announcements, and we'll see.
Wow, you've just given me the shivers. You just got me pumped again, and I'm thinking now, have we done enough work? Now the announcement is coming, and it's always, everyone's always wiser after the event has happened. So really, from my side, the advice right now to everyone is, you've just heard it directly from one of our co-creators, Mr. Eduard Khemchen, that in the next hour or so, we have a very good positive announcement coming up about the launch. So I would say, are you ready? Really, make sure you're ready. Make sure everyone in your team is ready. Everyone knows they have to log in, even if they want to be sitting on the fence right now. They have to log in and make sure. Is the update there?
Yep, that's right.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, then we're not going to keep you much longer. I don't know what it says on there. I haven't looked at it yet, but I can't wait to go and read it. Edward, I just want to say, you know what? I'm very, very grateful on behalf of the team, of the whole Daisy community. Like you've said, yes, I totally agree with you that Daisy community is very lucky to have the partners, Mr. Jeremy Roma, Mr. Ilya Manin. They've been absolutely phenomenal. But likewise, I believe the Daisy community, the Daisy project, and your partners are very lucky to have you like we are. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time. I know it's like nearly midnight in Dubai. You've been nonstop with the developers, with leaders, with doing calls, and you've never said no. So we really appreciate you. So on behalf of everyone, we just can't wait. Maybe as a parting words, if you were a distributor, you've contributed your tiers from January. What advice would you really have for those people? What would you be doing if you were in those shoes? You've started, maybe it doesn't matter whether you contributed tier 1, tier 5, tier 7, tier 10, and you've been waiting patiently or impatiently. And right now we're just around the corner, and we've just heard the incredible vision of this project. So what would you be doing, and what advice do you have for the people right now?
Well, first, I would be looking out for for myself. I would have to look at my account, and if I am only at 1 tier and I wasn't able to upgrade to 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever I was supposed to upgrade, that would be my first step. Upgrade my account, because there's going to be people under you purchasing 2nd tier, 3rd tier, 10th tier, and if you're not in that tier, you missed out. Now, make sure people understand and not getting a wrong thinking, oh, I missed out. There's also unilevel, and the unilevel, the back end, the profit from the rewards, right? So that if it's your direct in your line, you never miss out on that. But the front money is a lot of money. You can miss out a lot of money. So the first thing, upgrade your account. It's just like when you're in an airplane and they announce if there's something's going to happen, you put a mask first to yourself and then help somebody else. So that's why we give 6 hours. Help yourself first, figure out the back office, upgrade wherever you can, whatever you plan to, right? And then you can start helping your team, bringing new people, and 6 hours is plenty enough, because I believe 1 hour is enough. But because of different time zones, and somewhere maybe it's a 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, no big deal. He can wake up 2-3 hours later and we still have 3 extra hours. So I think 6 hours is plenty enough. And of course, right now, what we're doing, helping your team to get USDT, make sure they know about TRX for the fees, prepare everybody so everybody's ready for that. I would be, if, and I've been doing this because I'm also a distributor, right? We're all the same. We're all in the team. There's really, it's a smart contract and we're in it and right? So I've been meeting with people all day long. I don't want to say 24/7, but maybe 18/7 and sometimes 27, right? But been preparing and building. Yeah, that's what I would do. And especially right now, this is, I mean, you have only few days left. That's it. And we're going to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that. A little shout out to my brother, Rabu, who, by the way, just messaged me to say, tell Edward I'll see him next week in Dubai, as they're heading to Dubai next week. So lucky you guys. Well, once again, thank you very much, Edward. I'm actually trying to get rid of you because I want to go and read this message. I'm super excited. I can't wait. But no, right. On a serious note, thank you very, very much. You're sitting in the lobby away from your family to do this call. So we appreciate you. Thank you for your support. And we're excited. We can't wait to get this launch and really take this to the next level. So thank you very much. We'll let you go and we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.